is my own independence tune that I debuted, and you'll see it later on. Speaking for a generation, I know it's time to take back my isolation, to take back what's mine. I won't hide, I won't run and hide from you. I will survive, I will survive. I want my future, I want it 'cause it's mine. Scotland is mine and it's my own. Scotland is mine and it's buried in my bones. Keep up the fight, we won't leave us alone. Scotland runs in my blood and is my home. Oh, it's my home. We will rise again, oh women and men. Fight for your children, they would do the same. I know I'm only young, but I am not the one to blame. You plague our waters with your weapons and remains of nuclear war. Say that I am only young, but at least I know what I am fighting for. What I am fighting for. 'Cause Scotland is mine and it's my own. Scotland is mine and it's buried in my bones. Keep up the fight, we won't leave us alone. Scotland runs in my blood and it's my own. Scotland is mine and it's my own. Scotland is mine and it's buried in my bones. Keep up the fight, we won't leave us alone. Scotland runs in my blood, it's my home. But it's now time to go to war. I know I'm only young, but I know what the hell I'm fighting for. It's time for us now. It's time to go to war. I know I'm only young, but I do know what I'm fighting for. Oh, in my bones. Keep up the fight, we won't leave us alone. Scotland runs in my blood and it's my home. Scotland is mine and it's my own. Scotland is mine and it's buried in my bones. Keep up the fight, we won't get a taxi. Because I seen people like absolutely fleeing taxis because of the expenses, and I looked at them and went, you're either Glaswegian or you're really cheap. And it's not lucky for the bikers, man. I mean, apart from the traffic, but you guys can look cool when you're getting raging at traffic. You know what I mean? Like the Uber driver was probably looking at me as if I had a death wish or something. But you guys look cool, so it's totally fine for you. All right. My own song, Your Name. You say I'm confident, I'd say I'm cautious. You call me pretty and I'm feeling nauseous. I'll start to pull away like I do from everyone. Tell me you're not afraid to become there's something in the way. Tell me that you'll stay. I'm looking for danger, all night to the strangers. Kiss my pain away. You're my falling fool, girl. Stay with me till hell freezes over, and I don't know yet. Whoa, 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 and I don't know your name. comfortable. I know it's sad, but I feel for you. I start to pull away like I do from everything. It's like this game we play, there's no other way to win. No way to win. I'm looking for danger, dance with the stranger, so kiss my pain away. I'm a falling over, I'll stay with you till hell freezes over, and I don't know your name. Oh, 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 and I don't know your name. Know your name. It's my fault for getting my hopes up so high. I've been sold love. It's a
Hello, what? Get an narrative of what's happening. Okay. You didn't be on camera. It has been working with people. So, you don't need to be on camera.
No.
Just give a narrative of just tell people that.
So just start. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kenny McBride here for Broadcasting Scotland. At the end of the march, the All Under One Banner March here in Edinburgh. The weather is not quite what we might have hoped for today. It has been raining for the last couple of hours, and it does seem to be getting a bit heavier. But it doesn't seem like anybody's spirits are dampened. The pipes and drums just leading the parade into the park. There are a lot of people, as far as we can see, about to make their way into the park here. We do have a great programme of speakers and musicians ready on the stage. We'll be hopefully talking to some of them here backstage, getting a few interviews as well. So as you can hopefully see, there are people just starting to stream in. There is a slight bottleneck as they come into the park, because obviously they've been walking along wider roads than the gate they've got to come through to get in here. But it's tremendous to see so many people coming out on such a not very nice day. I suppose the first week of October in Scotland, we can't expect too much better than this. But it's a testament, I think, to the commitment and the passion that we all have for independence that so many people have turned out. We're just waiting to see what the numbers are. We've not heard an official report yet, but we will hopefully speak to some of the organisers and find out what the estimate is. We may also try and grab a polis and see what they're estimating, because usually somewhere in the middle is the most accurate number.
Jenny Godley was in the house, in the park, anywhere. because she's meant to be doing this bit, so I'm just totally winging it, of course, spitting at the mic and everything. And I don't know where Hardeep is, he said he was here a minute ago, wasn't he? It was quite funny, wasn't it?
For independence and at the Hague. Hometown Edinburgh. Die for liberty, don't let it be in vain. Rise up, stand up. Through it. Right. Hi everybody. Are you wet yet? This is Lorenzo for yes. Wee question. What's the best thing SNP? More than 12 years. Pretty much everybody, bar the bitter, blinkered, bigoted British nationalists, agree that they've done a reasonable job. The voters certainly seem to be well pleased. Most of them, and they'll say, SNP, they're all right. And some of them might get really excited and say, SNP, they're no bad. Yeah? But what's the best thing? What's your favourite thing that they've done for Scotland? You'll all have your own ideas about that, but I've got the speaking stick, so you've got to listen to me. For a long time, if you'd asked me that question, I would have said that my favourite thing that the SNP did, I would have picked would we give Westminster a veto over our referendum? Accept Westminster being involved in any way in our referendum? Yet that is precisely what the Section 30 process does. It moves vital aspects of our referendum out of Scotland and hands them over to Westminster. Scotland's new independence referendum must be entirely made and managed in Scotland. Our First Minister must seize control of the process.
Now, for you personally, being in Westminster right now must be a pretty stressful experience. How is the SNP group doing down there?
We're not doing too bad. We're a very close-knit group and we try to work together as a team. There's a lot of cross-party working that goes on as well at the moment. The Labour Party and the Conservative Party have really have huge splits in them as a result of Brexit, but the SNP are very much holding firm because, of course, we have one cause, and that cause is independence.
That's brilliant. Joanna Cherry, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you on the stage later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just telling us a bit about her legal cases and her other work in Parliament. Lovely to hear from her. She will be up on stage very shortly, and we look forward to hearing from her then.
Take it back. Let me hear you. Take it back. Take it back, take it back, take it back! We've come here to inform you of Westminster's lies. They're gonna take it from you. So open up your eyes. Time to uprise, uprise, uprise.
Can I hear everybody with this one? We've come a long, long way together.
So we are now joined by Tommy Shepherd. Tommy, you've just come off stage where you gave your characteristically passionate speech. What do you make of the crowd and the atmosphere here today?
Well, it's tremendous, really. I mean, I think we have to acknowledge that it's not the best weather that we could have had, and there's a lot of wet feet out there, but our spirits are not dampened. There's many tens of thousands of people here staying to listen to the speeches, and of course, We're now, more than an hour into the rally, and people are still leaving the Parliament down at Holyrood. So this is a very, very big demonstration in favour of independence.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this weather, it's quite a turnout. What's your message to the people that are here? What should they be looking forward to doing in the next few months in support of the cause?
Well, we live in exciting times, and the whole political situation in Scotland and in the UK is pregnant with possibility, and we need to maximise those possibilities and those opportunities. We will have, I hope, an opportunity before Christmas to have a general election in the United Kingdom, and that will give people throughout the UK the chance to get rid of Boris Johnson and the most right-wing Conservative government in my lifetime. But more importantly, here in Scotland, the election will give us the opportunity to demand an alternative future, to demand that we have got the right to have a further referendum on becoming a normal, independent European country with the normal powers that people associate with that, so that never again are we dragged against our will into the type of mad right-wing policies that we see before us today, whether that be whether that be the bedroom tax or the rate clause, or whether that be the general attacks on public services, or whether that be Brexit. We should have the right to make those decisions ourselves, and I think more and more people are coming to realise that as the normal way of things.
Now, we've seen obviously a lot of obstruction from the British government. How optimistic are you that we can win an agreement over a referendum?
Well, I think people have to realise that it's important not only that we just win in Scotland, but it's in our interest, it's in Scotland's interest to try and make sure we get rid of this right-wing Tory government, and that we have a government in the UK that we can do business with in terms of pressing our demands for another referendum and for independence. And so therefore I think we have a material interest in the outcome of the election. But, God forbid, if Boris Johnson does have an election and does get re-elected, then we have to press our case regardless. We're not going to wait for his permission before we go ahead and consult the people of Scotland on their own constitutional future.
Well, I'm sure, Tommy, that we can expect to see you leading from the front in that fight. You have been a doughty advocate for Scottish independence. What are your personal hopes for the next few months, or even the next few weeks?
Well, I mean, I hope that the week after next we will throw out Boris Johnson's proposals for government, that the Brexit deadline will be extended so that we still have a choice to make about that, and that we can then go ahead and have a general election to get rid of this government and to chart a new course for Scotland. I am proud to have been selected again as the SNP candidate to fight this seat here in Edinburgh East. I'm looking forward to doing that, and I hope that people will rally behind me and my colleagues, and we will send an even better contingent than we did back in 2015 down to Westminster, and leave them under no illusion whatsoever that not only is Scotland fed up, but we want to do things our own way now. The time has come.
Well, Tommy Shepherd, thank you very much for all that you do, and all the very best in any coming election, and even just being in Westminster. I know that probably takes a wee bit of luck and a wee bit of personal strength to survive. So we wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. It felt odd looking at the camera.
And then she asked me, where do you come from? Oh, you'll find me lying in Freedom Square. Aye, I come from there.
Do you wanna get out of here? You can leave your blanket, but bring a beer.
Well, let's go to the food bank and pick up something. Streets of fear. Let's get the fuck out of here! Hey, Shawnee! Let's get out of here, brother! Oh, I've been frozen
And I've been broken,
been drinking,
and I've been smoking,
I've been stealing. been homeless, baby. Come on, everybody. Come on! Go! Go! Last song.
Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. I got a story that I like to tell. I hope you're all listening before I go to hell for believing in fate over God. Well, you wrote up on that photograph and I couldn't believe what I saw.
Come on!
Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. And I'm here, sitting, waiting on my own. I'm here, sitting, waiting on my own. So we're back where we started, with nowhere to go. The story is ending and I got nothing to show, except this picture of you and me lying drunk on the floor. And I will keep it pinned up on the back of my door, because everybody's leaving.
Come on.
Everybody's leaving, going home. Let me see your arms. Going home. Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home.
Come on! Believe in!
Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. Everybody's leaving, everybody's leaving, going home, going home. And I'm here, sitting, waiting on my own.
Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving.
And I'm here,
Everybody's leaving.
sitting, waiting on my own.
Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving.
And I'm here, sitting, waiting on my own.
We're the fucking runners! Believe it!
Thank you very, very much. The little boy in the burgundy jacket is our best friend and guitarist, Jackson Scott. Thank you.
Give up their names! From one powerful woman to another, Janie. is a 5-year-old boy in Crieff who dreams one day of having a family that will live in an independent Scotland. Shout for him while he waits to get old enough to get on the bus to come here at some point in the
We
future.
have a birthday shout out. Hang on a wee second, I took a picture of it.
So William Wallace's cousin, hey! Khalil, he's from the Moorish end of the family folk don't talk about.
It's Joanne Burrow's birthday!
Joanne Burrows, but happy birthday, Joanne. And in independent Scotland, it will still be your birthday.
Yeah.
Things like that won't change. We'll just be more progressive. We'll make sure that those with the greatest need have that realised, and those with the ability to deliver more to the state will have that realised. We'll live in a more egalitarian... But it'll still be your birthday, Joanne, so that won't change. So don't worry when the haters say, oh, all your birthdays will disappear,
Right,
and
shut
everyone will
up now.
become left-handed
Shut up now.
and free Falkirk.
Honest to God, I can get this shite in the house. So I need a man just talking dead loud at the top of me. This is why we never get married.
I always wanted a civil partnership. I don't believe in marriage. I believe it's patriarchal and it subjugates women.
That's why I'm going to put my toe up the crack of your ninky now. How we doing, people? Let me hear all the strong women in the park. That's what we need. Let me hear all the men that only frightened a strong woman in the park. See? What are you doing? This is the wrong time to do a crossword, Hardy.
No, it's 3 down, and it's...
Yeah, that's never happened to you. So,
What happens to all men? It's stress-related. It's nothing to do with you, Jenny. You're very attractive.
I am. I'm gorgeous.
Talking about hugely powerful women.
Yep.
Who
Did you
have-
like how I did a segue to that?
Well, I just think, for those of you that watch the news, I'm awfully proud of the representatives sent down the road to... I'm reminded of when Mahatma Gandhi came to England in the 1930s, King George said to him, Mr. Gandhi, what do you think of Western civilization? And Mr. Gandhi said, I think it would be a good idea. And when I watch our representatives down the road, I kind of think civilization would be good for them in Westminster. No woman, perhaps with the exception of our leader, has stood with her head and shoulders above the parapet and been prepared.
Can I say her name?
Say her name. When no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. You've been playing games.
Let's all say it together, the one and only Joanna Cherry!
Way!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much for such a lovely reception. I'm really incredibly proud to be asked to speak to you here today. It's amazing to see such a huge crowd of independent supporters in the middle of Scotland's capital city. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on this march today, because your confidence that independence is coming is not just heartwarming, it's also inspirational. And I know that as well as marching in joyful celebration today, you people who are marching are also the people who chap the doors and have the conversations with your neighbours and your family and your workmates and friends, the conversations that are convincing more and more of our fellow Scots to see how our future together is better as an independent nation. So I know that as well as marching here today, you are the people who fundraise for the Yes movement. And I know you are the people who do the groundwork for the Scottish National Party and the other pro-independence parties. And I know that you are the people who will make independence happen. So you should all be very proud of that, and don't let anyone ever say otherwise to you. In the midst of this toxic mess that Britain's in at the moment with Brexit, it's really wonderful to see such a positive outpouring of self-belief. And it's very important that we never let the positivity that started during the Indie Ref in 2014 is very important. We never let that descend into the sort of acrimony that we see at the heart of British politics at the moment. And it's very important that we understand and know that abusing and threatening those with whom we disagree is not the way to go. And I know that you know that already. And I know, because you are part of the movement, I know that you know the way to win independence is by calm, rational argument. But equally, days like today, when those of you who are the foot soldiers of our movement get together, are really important as well. And I want to say something about the independent Scotland that we aspire to create, because I think it's very important to say that it's going to be a very, very different place from Brexit Britain. And it's going to be an inclusive society and an egalitarian society where diversity is celebrated and immigrants are welcomed as new Scots. And it's going to be a fairer society where our pensioners get decent pensions that they've worked for all their lives. And it's going to be a fairer society where the burden of taxation falls on those best able to pay it. And it's also going to be a country that will lead the world in the fight for climate justice and the campaign for nuclear disarmament. But most of all, our independent Scotland will be at the heart of Europe, sitting at the top table. And we will not be like nationalists from England who want to be cantankerous on the sidelines, wishing for the British Empire to return, because that will never happen. Now, the message that the unionist parties want to give us is a negative message. And they want to say to people in Scotland, you cannae do this, and you cannae do that. And of course, last week, a Liberal Democrat member of Parliament actually said to his constituents that he would rather they faced the catastrophic damage of a no-deal Brexit than become an independent nation. But of course, we know that's nonsense. Because as we look across Europe, we see examples of small independent nations thriving and taking a seat at the top table alongside their larger neighbours. And nowhere do we see better the contrast between what Scotland is and what Scotland could be than when we look at the position of Ireland. A small, economically successful nation on the fringes of Western Europe that takes its seat at the top table in Europe and that dictates the EU's negotiating strategy while Scotland is ignored on the sidelines. But you know, the great thing, friends, is that Scotland hasn't been completely powerless in the struggle against Brexit. There have been some victories against the British government, and I've been very proud to be part of them. But those victories came by working with others. So when I worked with Andy Whiteman and went all the way to the Court of Justice to get the ruling that Article 50 could be unilaterally revoked, that was a defeat for the British government. And you know, we had to fight them the whole way, and many commentators ignored or belittled our efforts, but we won through. We won at the end of the day. And equally, with the challenge to Boris Johnson's prorogation, that wasn't just my case. There were other SNP MPs, Labour MPs, Lib Dem and independent MPs who all joined together, but the SNP provided the leadership. And when we started that case to try and have the prorogation declared unlawful, legal commentators north and south of the border said that we would lose, and media commentators were sceptical or just ignored us. And then when we lost at the first hurdle, they poured scorn on us. Then when we won before Scotland's Supreme Court, they belittled Scotland's Supreme Court and said surely that would be overturned in London. But we persevered, and we won 11-0 in the United Kingdom Supreme Court. So we won against all the might of the British government, such as it is these days, against all the odds, because we had conviction and self-belief. We knew that in an independent Scotland, with a written constitution, we would have a proper set of fair rules, not a ragtag of conventions and so-called gentlemanly agreements. And we kept going, we kept fighting, and we righted a wrong. And that has been news across the world, that Scottish politicians led the legal fight which forced the British Parliament to go back to work. And by God, do people across Europe now understand why Scotland wants to be an independent nation? So, my message to you today is that independence is coming soon. In the current fog of British politics, it's hard just to see when and where the opportunity will arise, but it will arise, and we have to be ready for it. So my question to you today is, are you ready? I don't think they can hear you at the BBC. Are you ready? I don't think they can hear you at Westminster. Are you ready? Well, my friends, you look pretty ready to me. So my message to you, to coin a famous phrase from another Liberal Democrat, is go back to your constituencies and prepare for independence. Thank you.
Charlotte Cherry, MP, QC. Fucking brilliant. As they say. Just think about this for a minute. How many members of Parliament are getting that reception in the United Kingdom at present? There are very few leaders, and we seem to have most of them. And it's also, for those that doubt, you're in the city of the Enlightenment. You're in the Athens of the North. You're in the country that invented the Industrial Revolution. The steam hammer, the train, the television, the telephone, penicillin, Dolly the sheep, Tar Macadam, waterproof jackets, sectarianism. Scotland invented everything. And I'll tell you something I've just seen, and I would not have believed this had I not seen it with my own brown eyes. This movement, this independence movement, this civic nationalist movement has brought together folk that would never have shared a space together. In all my life, being a boy from Glasgow, I've never seen the Celtic and the Rangers symbols on the same banner. Celtic supporters, Rangers supporters, united for Scottish independence. If they can do it, fuck it, we can do it! Sorry about that. It's got a wee bit emotional there when I thought we might be independent. And if you meet any brown Scots that are again independence, just remind them, it wasn't so bad for India, was it? If you meet any Portuguese Scots, I don't know what to say to them. So we've now got a wee video from the National Yes Registry. This is very important. Oh fuck, this is even more important. Right, hush now. Now there's a wee 14-year-old boy called Billy Kerr, who's gone missing. He needs to be found. So if you can go backstage and ask for his dad. Aye. So if you Billy, don't be a hero, Billy. Come backstage. You're only 14, son. Get yourself. Just ask for your dad. Ask for anyone's dad, because in many ways we're all your dad, but not like that. So you ready for a bit of video action? This is very important. Watch this, listen to this, and do something about this. Go on yourselves, boys.
It will help us to win the next referendum because this is It will help us to win the next referendum because this is the tool. It will help us to win the next referendum because this is the tool that we needed the first time round and we didn't have it.
Everything that happened in the last referendum grew in major part.
It will help us to win the next referendum because this is the tool that we needed the first time round and we didn't have it.
Everything that happened in the last referendum grew in major part from the Yes movement doing what they had to do, and we have to do it better, more organised, and the NDAP will help us do that.
And we were never able to do that in the previous referendum because Yes Scotland had all the data and we weren't able to contact other Yes groups.
And the NDAP is already allowing us to do that through private messaging.
All the groups, editors can get in touch with all the groups throughout the country.
We need to be able to affect that level of organisation ourselves.
It's not a top-down thing. It's very much autonomous.
It's the only way really that all the individual groups can decide they want to participate on particular projects with other groups.
A way of connecting and networking with other Yes groups, which we never had the first time round. That's going to be so important.
Get your group trained and ready to use the Indie app. Join your fellow groups and book on indieapp.scot.
Hello. Hello. My name's Edward Smith, this is Jason Baird, and we've been working on a networking platform to join up the local groups, or the local Yes independence groups that formed during the first Indie Ref, because we felt there wasn't a way to connect everybody. And a lot of you might have heard of the Indie app in the National Yes Registry, but the good news is that a lot of people have been waiting for it, and it is actually finished.
So the structure is there now, and now it's our priority to populate that structure. So folk can contact the groups, and the groups can work with each other across the country. If Facebook won't do that, Twitter can't do it. But the platform, it's not being administered yet because it's just finished, right? The paint's just dry in it.
So before we can openly call everybody to download the Indie app and contact your local group, we need to get that admin structure in place. And that's because the app has been designed to be run by the users, and that initial task falls to the local groups.
So once the groups have members to operate the platform, everyone here could be networked in an afternoon. All of yous could just be networked in one afternoon. But that can't happen yet, because it's like the movement making a call, but the groups, they're just not picking up the phone yet. So that's where we need to get them picking up the phone.
We need to train people in the local groups. It's quite easy, the platform's quite easy to understand, but we need a couple of people from each local group to come to our national training event in Perth at the Station Hotel on the 7th and the 8th of December. We have 160 places to train people, and it's only £25 per person. Now that covers your food and your accommodation overnight, and we're going to subsidise that. We're running a crowd fund to help raise the funds. We don't want people to say, I've not got the funds, I can't go. We're raising the money to do it, and we've already got 2/3 of the way there.
So if anyone here is in a group, right, make sure you talk to the folk in your group and find out if you're sending anybody to the training. Half the places are already gone, they're going like hotcakes, so what to do is just go onto our website, which is indieapp.scot, and you can book your place there for your group. Or you can come down to us, we're down at the ice cream van there, next to the stall, and you can sign up there as well, okay?
If it's not something that you're going to be able to come and do because you're not in a group, and you want to support this endeavour, then please go to our indieapp.scot and throw a few pounds in our crowdfund bucket. And if you're not in a group yourself, or there's not a group in your area at present, because we're going to need these groups again springing up to take that message to your local community, to turn the soft nose to yes, then contact us, come down and speak to us, or contact us through the website, and we can get you set up and give you some advice about how to set up a group and get on the Indie app.
And also, if you do talk to your group and nobody's going, why don't you come? You know, you come along, you'll be more than welcome. It'll be a great weekend. Now, so in summary, what we're saying is collectively, as a movement, we've got the platform. It's done. And collectively, as a movement, we have the capabilities and the potential to make this thing happen. So now we need to help the movement to populate the Indie app and get it going. The process starts with all the local groups coming to the training. And the training is in Perth. It's the weekend of December the 7th and the 8th. And that's the message. So come along, get yourself booked up, and we'll hope to see you there. Okay, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, gents. Cheers. Listen, I can't get behind that more. Every vote counts next referendum. We saw how hard it was against the mass ranks, the mainstream media, and the poison in the bile. Gloves are off this time. They're going to be coming for us, so we need to make sure we're connected, we're organised, and we're communicating, because we need to put the basis for our future. We need to live the campaign of the second referendum the way we choose to live our lives as an independent nation. Organised, communicated, and connected. And how better to do that in the style of a 1950s crooner? That was seamless, son. Ladies and gentlemen, with his yes hit, living next door to Boris, the wonderful Pete Scally.
How you doing? It's great to be here. You ready to be free? What? Right, let's heat you up a wee bit. Teresa don't like it, this flag I wear. Boris thinks I'm crazy because I comb my hair. I wanna free my country, but I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna rock and roll, gonna do it almost every day. Oh yeah, I'm a Scottish rebel from head to toe, but I gotta keep it rocking everywhere I go. Everybody join us, we're good company. Claim your country back, be a Scottish rebel like me. I've been waiting on freedom, I've been waiting too long, but their time is over, that's why I'm singing this song. All under one banner, hope over fear, man, and forward as one, we're marching all over this land. Oh yeah, I'm a Scottish rebel from head to toe, but I gotta keep it rocking everywhere I go. Everybody join us, we're good company. Claim your country back, be a Scottish rebel like me. Feel free to dance. We're sending a message, we're sending it clear. We're rising up, boy, our time is here. We'll have a celebration, cause we're doing it our own way. And then we'll rock till we drop on Independence Day. Oh yeah, I'm a Scottish rebel from head to toe, but I gotta keep it rocking everywhere I go. Everybody join us, we're good company. Claim your country back and be a Scottish rebel like me. I'm a Scottish rebel from head to toe, but I gotta keep it rocking everywhere I go. Everybody join us, we're good company. Claim your country back, be a Scottish rebel like me. Claim your country back and be a Scottish rebel like me. Be a real cool cat, be a rockin' Scottish rebel like me. Oh, oh yeah. Thank you, you're very kind. Right, anybody here like Tories? All right, you can join in with this one then. Well, I've been a proud Scotsman for many a year, but I ain't got no money for whiskey or beer. So I asked the Tories, they answered me nay. So I think that it's time for Independence Day, and the Tories never no more shall they drain our resources. No, never, no more. I went to New Labour to see what they'd say, but they told me that they're not New Labour today. They then said the party is now Corbynites, but they're really red Tories, they're just talking shite. Tories never no more shall they drain our resources. No, never no more. I went to the Lib Dems to see for myself. They're just used Tory puppets thrown back on the shelf. Came to the conclusion there's only one way. Now I know that it's time for Independence Day, and the Tories never no more shall they drain our resources. No, never, no more. Your turn, and the Tories never no more. And the Tories never no more shall they drain our resources. No, never, no more. Thanks very much. One more. I beat it you. Right, one more. I didn't even know if I'd be able to sing today. I've been coughing my guts out for days, hardly slept. But I'm here. You might have heard this one. Sammy called when she got the word. She said, I suppose you've heard about Boris. Oh well, Teresa's gone and Boris is here. Hear all the right-wing racist Nazis cheer for Boris the clown. Well, he don't know what he's doing or where he's gonna go. He said it's time for leaving, but it's us that's gonna go. So we're gonna get used to just living next door. See Boris sitting there for years just trying to cause a fuss. He tells a pack of lies and then he writes them on a bus. So we're gonna get used to just living next door. See Boris. Teresa's at home with her feet up in her slippers. Boris is on the news, waving a kipper. What is up with him? That's Boris the clown. He's a burst mattress that's wired to the moon. a lying posh boy Tory buffoon. That's Forrest the clown. Well, he don't know what he's doing or where he's gonna go. He said it's time for leaving, but it's us that's gonna go. So we're gonna get used to just living next door to Boris. Sitting there for years just trying to cause a fuss. He tells a pack of lies and then he writes them on a bus. So we're gonna get used to just living next door to Boris. His stupid hair's on his eyes, so he can't see that Scotland will soon be free. Be Boris the clown. Stick to peddling your bike instead of peddling your lies. Sit back and watch the union's demise. You ready? He don't know what he's doing or where he's gonna go. He said it's time for leaving, but it's us that's gonna go. So we're gonna get used to just living next door. Say Boris, Boris! Sitting there for years just trying to cause a fuss. He tells a pack of lies and then he writes them on a bus. So we're gonna get used to just living next door. Say Boris. Oh, we're gonna get used to just living next door to Boris. Boris! Yeah! Thank you very much. You've been amazing. See you next year. I've got CDs for sale if anybody's interested. Love yous all. Bye.
Well, the rain is still here, but look up to the sky and shout yes! Guys, thank you so much for staying here and seeing this out. The BBC have now said 42 people are here, so that's good. We don't care. Guys, we have got another amazing act for you coming on. And are you ready, my darling? Are you ready? He is. Oh, that's me ovulator with that noise. It's my coil broke, so I'll be pregnant again. Guys, let me hear you give a big cheer for Gareth the Grouse Beer. Get up here, big man.
Hello, Drukit faithful. My name is Gareth, and I believe in the full and irreversible reinstatement of Scotland's civil and constitutional rights. You may call it independence, I call it liberty, a free nation. Why is it when Scots say they want to govern their country, they are judged a fool, demeaned and mocked? Yet when English say they want to govern their country again, they are praised and called patriotic. We Scots believe in nations treating each other and their indigenous culture with respect and dignity, equals as members of Europe and the United Nations. We call upon not only Scots, but all the people of Scotland, of all races, of all political persuasions, and all religions, to protect the rights of our sovereign nation and its people. Think not of yourself, think of tomorrow. To the media, the press, and the doubters, know that we Scots see ourselves first as humane, then a Scot, and always as a citizen of the world. Know the fast-flowing river of camaraderie and aspiration that is termed Scottish nationalism expresses those values. Unlike our opponents, we want to live in a place where we can elevate what is good in human nature, exercise an open mind, are curious, able to contribute to our society in joyous, positive ways. We reject colonial ambition. We jettison the habit of negative comparison. We suppress envy and train anger to right justice, not to demoralize others. We want released from fear. A free Scotland is a compassionate Scotland, good-humoured, happy to be part of a new era in civic fellowship and open government. This great assembly today and the other marches that have taken place in Scotland are a warning to the unelected and elected authority not to meddle with our democracy. This gathering of rebellion over conformity, confidence over fear, equality over tyranny, tells the British state to be damn well careful. If what I have said today and what is represented by everyone here today is dismissed by our opponents, this celebration of our new enlightenment, remember this: no nation ever rose up to demand its abolition. Westminster be advised, Scotland will be free again. Thank you.
Nearly slid in my hunkers there. That would have been interesting. I know it's raining. I know it's tired. And I know that piece of art is beautiful right there. If the photographers could take a picture of that, look at that. Look at that. But just remember, when we're tired, when it's raining, when we feel beaten, that's when they think we will give up. Will we give up? You are the people. And that was a wee nod to that. That's annoyed a few people. I'll be getting their boyfriends on Twitter. They're all like, you're fat and ugly. I'm getting banged harder than a faulty washing machine door. Don't explain that to the children. Right. We have another speaker. Are you ready? Him and I's picture went viral today on Twitter because I looked at him weird. I don't even know what I was thinking. But I'm menopausal. I'm 58. I've stopped smoking. I'm on a diet. I look at everybody that way. Please give it up for Chris McElhenney.
Thank you, Janie. It's my dream to find a woman that looks at me the way you looked at me today, by the way.
Let's recreate it.
Lovely person, so she is. It's absolutely pissing it down out there, isn't it? I'm from Greenock though, so I'm used to it. The organisers of today have just tweeted and they've told me to announce it to everybody that they estimate there was over 200,000 people today took part in today's march. Today, you have made history. You are part of the largest ever gathering of independent supporters who have united today to demand their democratic mandate that Scotland should be an independent country. Give yourselves a round of applause. And you're gathered here today as free men and women and free people we are. But one question we'll ask ourselves is, what will we do with that freedom when Scotland becomes an independent country? Boris Johnson doesn't want to give the people of Scotland a choice. He doesn't want us to have a choice to oppose illegal laws like the illegal invasion of Iraq. He doesn't want us to have a choice. He doesn't want us to have a choice to oppose spending £200 billion on weapons of mass destruction. and he doesn't want us to have a choice to work until we drop. But what sort of choices will we make when Scotland becomes an independent country? Will we take the choice to rid Scotland of trident nuclear weapons? Will we take the choice to tell the women the UK government robbed them of their pensions, that in an independent Scotland, Scotland's women will be robbed no more? That's what independence is about. That's what I believe in. And I heard a lot of people during this week talking about this march and rally, saying it was just about a bunch of people coming waving flags. And when I came here today, I didn't see a sea of saltires. I seen a sea of people with the same sort of hope and aspirations for an independent Scotland that I've got. I seen a sea of people out there that believe it's an absolute disgrace that 1 in 4 children live in poverty when we spend £200 billion in nuclear weapons. That's what I seen. I seen people that gathered here today to send a message to the UK government and Boris Johnson. That usurper, Boris Johnson, the feckless Franco that he is. He has absolutely no legitimacy in Scotland. Not a single person in this country elected Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. Scotland didn't elect a Tory UK government. But they tell us we shouldn't be allowed a choice in our future, the future of the people of Scotland. So here's our message to Boris Johnson. Respected, well, no, that message, that's after the watershed, pal. Respect the democratic mandate of Scotland. Allow the people of Scotland to have a choice on their own future. But hear this, Boris Johnson, you feckless Franco. If you don't give the people of Scotland a choice, we will give them that choice, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Give it for Chris! We have a very special message. The police just contacted me there. We are currently I've wrote it down in my phone, give me a wee second. We're looking for Billy Kerr. Billy Kerr is 14. He's on the autism spectrum. He was here with a group of people with John Love. If anybody can find Billy, if you're out there, come round to the information wee booth here. I want us all to shout together, Billy Kerr. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Billy Kerr, if you're out there and you don't know how to get back, come to the backstage. Come down here. Give them one more shout. Billy Kerr. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. We need to look after our own, don't we? Because nobody else will. Now, we have got some amazing live music. By the way, Hardeep had to go. Shout bye-bye, Hardeep. Thank you so much for staying. I know the rain is putting us off. I know that the unionists are giving it, there's hardly anybody there. The rain will stop them. The rain never stopped me anyway. We have got an awesome band. Let me hear you give it up once, give it up twice for Relay Juggard.
Just look at the camera and I'll...
Oh, I see you looking straight ahead.
It's a bit weird, but it looks fine once you're on the telly.
All I can see is my father. I don't see that young handsome man anymore.
So we're here with Gareth Wardell, perhaps better known to most people as the Grouse Beater. You've just come off the stage. What do you make of the turnout and the reaction of the crowd today?
Well, it's been absolutely phenomenal. It's a good indication of the sentiment and the intensity of it. of people in Scotland, of whom a great many are not Scots, but they believe in the same cause of liberty and a free nation.
Yeah, we have seen a huge number of other flags. I believe we've got some representatives from the Yes Cymru movement as well here. So you're a blogger. That's how most people will know of you. What do you think of the kind of explosion of creativity and writers, people like Broadcasting Scotland even, that have emerged as part of the independence movement? What do you think that says about us as a movement?
Well, in any time of political trouble, art is what rises to the top. It might be poetry, it might be song, it might be plays, but that's part of the human spirit. I'm just back from Iceland, talking to some of the people there, and when the great bank heist, as I call it, the bank crash happened to them, they were in the middle of building a giant concert hall, and they sat down and said, now what do we do? And the answer was, we join together and we finish this concert hall, which they've done. And that's a pain to the human spirit.
And presumably then you would be hoping that in this moment of crisis, the Scottish people might get together and say, let's finish the job of independence.
Well, I hope so. I mean, the British state is pretty powerful. They've shown over 300 years and more what they can do to deflect us, usually with promises of money. It's one of these odd things that they chastise us for years that we are a poverty-stricken nation, which, as you know, we are not. And then when it comes time to get our vote, they tell us they're going to give us lots of money.
So, as you look at this crowd, all the speakers that we've heard from today, how optimistic are you about independence?
It will happen. You can't reverse it. If you look at the history of any nation, sometimes it's taken years, decades, but inevitably the message gets through to everybody that if they can take their decision making into their own hands and stand by and live by the decisions that they make, they're actually living in a better country, a mature country. And we had hundreds of years of being an independent country. We didn't hand it all to Westminster. We kept a big chunk of our sovereignty. Now that Westminster wants to be an English parliament rather than an umbrella assembly of 3 nations and a province, well, it's time Scotland got its independence back again, and we'll be all the better for it.
And so just before we let you go, Gareth, would you just like to plug the blog for all our viewers? Just let us know, let people know where they can read your work.
They just need to Google Grousebeater Twitter or Grousebeater WordPress. I've just recently finished a couple of big essays on Iceland, so if they put Grousebeater Iceland, it'll pop up naturally.
That's brilliant, Gareth. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
So that was Gareth Wardell, the Grousebeater. We're sure many of you have read his work. He is a wonderful writer, and you can find him on grousebeater.word. I think it's grousebeater.wordpress.com. If not, as he said, just Google Grousebeater on Twitter, Grousebeater on WordPress. You will find him. So thank you again to Gareth for joining us.
We're really checkered. Keep those hands up in the air. Get your hands up, Scotland!
time, people have been displaced from their homelands. Highland clearances, the wars, the refugee crisis. Your people are marching for your independence. People in the past have fought for their freedom. This song is about people who have come to other lands in search of a better life. We are proud to be Scottish. We are proud of every person, every country and every culture that makes us Scottish. In Scotland, everybody is welcome. Time is till we sing a song of homeland lost. We begin our lives anew, our walking boots ride on. Our dreams are all gone now, we're living in this hell. Our boats are sink and men that lie, our walking boots ride on. Our walking boots ride on. So many young and dead, and all for what I said. The tears they cannot flow, so many I must shed.
is exactly what I'm feeling right now. Guys, we're still looking for Billy Kerr. If you look on the big screen, you might see a picture of him. Please, everybody, shout out Billy Kerr. Thank you so much. Guys, I am going to introduce the next speaker, and then I'm have to... What are you doing there? You interfering with my coil? Oh, please, everybody look down and pick up the rubbish. We don't want them on Twitter saying we made a mess in this.
Probably the...
It's Scotland's history! That's what you've done today! And you know, yesterday there was a story which brought everything into focus for me about why we need our independence. A story that some of you might have read about or heard about. There's been a consultation conducted by the Scottish Government, and 16,000 Scots have been part of this consultation. And it's been about the sale of fireworks. And the government has been concerned because ambulance crews, firefighters, domestic pets have been attacked by the misuse of fireworks, and the government's been asked to do something about it because emergency service workers are there to do a job, not to be attacked by fireworks on the 5th of November. And this consultation, 83% said they want the public sale of fireworks banned so that only official firework displays take place. And I thought, well, if 83% support that, then it must be no bad idea. And then the Scottish Government had to admit they're powerless. The sale of fireworks is reserved to Westminster. We've got a Scottish Parliament that's been there since 1999. They have passed 231 acts of the Scottish Parliament, some of them very important, like free personal care for the elderly, like retaining no tuition fees here in Scotland, like free prescriptions here in Scotland. Very important. There are measures which are important, but maybe not quite as important as other measures. We'll pass bills on dog fouling, we'll pass measures on high hedges, and that's the crux of the matter. We've got the power to regulate high hedges, but we can't determine that we can ban the bloody sale of fireworks. We are a wee pretending parliament, It's almost like parental guidance. There should be a PG notice for the Parliament. Brothers and sisters, we've had enough. We've had enough of a parental guidance Parliament. We want an adult Parliament to take their own decisions. We don't just want to take decisions on high hedges of dog fouling. We want to take decisions to banish poverty and inequality. That's what we want to do. Independence for us can never be the end of the journey. Independence for us has to be the start of the journey. The journey, brothers and sisters, to create a fairer Scotland, a more equal Scotland, a Scotland that welcomes refugees, a Scotland that hands out friendship, not a fist of fury, to those who are fleeing the bombs that the Western powers are dropping upon them. A Scotland that says loud and clear, we think hospitals and schools and children are much more important than illegal, immoral weapons of mass destruction. I'll finish, brothers and sisters, by making an appeal to the de facto leadership of the independence movement in a political sense. We're the grassroots, we're the heart of the movement. But the political leadership have got a job to do. We gave them a mandate 3.5 years ago. There are some people in England and Wales who I find it difficult sometimes because there's different views on Brexit and the European Union. I find it difficult sometimes when I listen to the voices in England and Wales, not the bigoted ones, not the racist ones, but the ones who said that they voted for something 3 years ago that still hasn't happened. And I say to myself, we voted for something 3 years ago that still hasn't happened. My appeal to the SNP, I know you've got a hard job. I know it's difficult running Scotland, and it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder with Johnson and his right-wing group of bigots and racists and reactionaries. I say to the SNP leadership, please, either use the mandate or fight the election in November on a clear manifesto commitment. If you win that election, then you negotiate independence. That's what you should be doing. No more ifs, buts, and maybes. We've walked far too far, far too many times to be let down again. Please, you've got the backing, you've got the faith of the Scottish people. Don't let us down again. Use the mandate. Thanks very much.
Linda, use the mandate.
We're going to get you lined up. Pilar Fernandez.
Pilar Fernandez. Don't worry.
So if you're going to make a decision for a workshop, then go and get your bus if it's still there. Hopefully. Now I'd like to introduce the beautiful Maya Brown.
So we are here with Pilar Fernandez. Now, Pilar, what brings you to a march like this?
Well, I've been following the Yes movement since 2014. I was following the events with interfering from the Spanish government. So we decided to keep an eye on what was happening in Scotland in 2014. I noticed in 2014 that the Spanish media was manipulating a lot of news. It was a great blackout for the Scottish independence, and I think people deserve to know what is happening now and the implications of the actions from the Spanish government in 2014. I think now the situation is entirely different. The full United Kingdom is living strange times with a lot of constitutional conflict. So I'm keeping an eye on what's happening, and of course, as a EU citizen, I'm married to a Scot, so I'm involved in all this mess in some way. I think the people all over the world need to know what is happening in Scotland. They need to know that Scotland is moving. They need to know that the people of Scotland want independence. So I'm here for this.
And obviously you're from Spain yourself. What do you think of the solidarity between the Catalonian movement for independence and the Scottish movement?
Well, in 2014, again, the movement was totally different. Both processes, both the Catalan and the Scottish process were totally different. But I can understand solidarity between nations. It's the normal thing. It's human. It's absolutely brilliant to bring together, to put together people from different nations. I understand the processes are different, especially now. People can understand that from the Tory party and from Conservative party, unionist parties are trying to Catalanize the Scottish process. It is not like that. We're having a constitutional process. We have a writing constitution, and the Spanish situation is absolutely different from here. But I can understand, because I'm from Galicia, and I can understand the solidarity between people, because it's the normal thing to do. We are facing more or less same problems. We're facing an involution of rights where the conservative parties, fascist parties, are trying to steal fundamental and human rights. So it's important for every one of us, no matter if you are in Catalonia, in Galicia, and Scotland, to bring together the word solidarity and the human rights defense.
And what do you think people here and people in Spain should be doing to show that solidarity?
Well, I think you can see in social networks, social networks are a show of what is happening now. I think being here, for example, is supporting these kind of events, reporting on these kind of events is important. It is important to spread the word, because we need to tell people in Galicia and Catalonia and Italy and in Germany what is happening in Scotland. In some way, we have to share information of what is happening in Galicia and Catalonia and the Basque Country, for example, and all over the world, because we're facing complicated times.
Now, you have, of course, been broadcasting yourself today for Rosalia TV. I don't know if everyone can see the badge there, but where can people find that?
You can find that on rosaliatv.com and also pilaraymara.com. Many of the people here in the march were saying that they will follow me on Twitter at Pilar Aymara and also my Facebook page, Omundo Pilar Aymara. And thank you very much for all the support and all the hellos and all the messages, because it's been fantastic.
Well, Pilar, thank you very much for everything that you do for our movement. It's a wonderful thing to have on.
Broadcaster in Scotland. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you personally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that was Pilar Fernandez, who has been a great campaigner for Scottish independence, even though her roots are in Spain. As she said, she is married to a Scot, so that does give her a stake in what happens here. She is, of course, also a great contributor to Broadcasting Scotland on occasion. So it's wonderful, as she said, for us to finally meet in person. So again, thank you very much to Pilar.
Been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing old songs that make me think of where I came from. As the reason why I seem so far away today. Edinburgh, let me hear you. Let me tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you're the best thing I've ever had. I've left them crying, stolen dreams, yeah, there's no denying. And I lost my way of conscience flying. Let me hear you one more time, let's go. Let me tell you that I should. Caledonia, you're the best thing I've ever had. One more time, let me tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia. And if I should become a stranger, you know that that would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you're the best thing I've ever had. Lauren, Jackson, I love yous with all my heart. You know I do. Alright, that was absolutely lovely, but I think we want to dance. So I'm going to take this as a wee subtle plug, and I'm going to plug myself. It's a song I wrote called Your Name, and this won't be released till we get fucking independence. That's going to kill me all the way up there. You say I'm confident, I'd say I'm cautious. You call me pretty and I'm feeling nauseous. I'll start to pull away like I do from everyone. Tell me you're not afraid to become my only one. There's something in the way you tell me that you'll say I'll forgive an angel, I'll dance with the stranger, so kiss my pain away. have so much love for you. I'll say I'm happy, now you're uncomfortable. I know it's time, but now I feel for you. I'll start to pull away like I do from everything. It's like this game we play, there's no other way to win. My pain away. Jump! Now my body's over. I'll see you to help me get over. And I don't know your name. Whoa! 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 And I don't know your name. Know your name, but it's my fault for getting my hopes up so high. And I've been told love isn't real till it hits the sky. Maybe I should start looking for love where it's lost. And I'll be loveless, but I want cause. Join the pet, make a mosh pit, I don't care. Woo! I would start a pet. I'm a giving girl, dance with the strangers, so kiss my pain away. I'm a 44 girl, stay with me till freezes over, and I don't know your name. I'm a giving girl, dance with the strangers, so kiss my pain away. I'm a 44 girl, stay with me till hell freezes over, and I don't know your name. Oh, that was shite. Whoa, thank you. Whoa, I don't know your name, and I don't know your name. And I don't know your name. Thank you very much. My name is Maya Brown, and you'll find me on Facebook. Come see me backstage. Don't take that literally, I have a boyfriend.
Thanks very much, Maya. That was excellent, wasn't it? What a voice! It's amazing. I'm supposed to make an announcement for somebody called King. Mr. or Mrs. King. I've suddenly forgot what the bloody name is. But if Mr. or King could come to the backstage, your husband or wife's looking for you. That's so terrible, isn't it? No wonder I don't do this professionally. This is W.G. Saraband, and he's going to speak for us now. He's a Glaswegian. He's originally Portuguese, but he's adopted Glasgow, and Glasgow's adopted him. Come on, W.E. I don't even know what W.G. stands for.
I'm from Edinburgh, not for Glasgow.
Oh, sorry. I'm being a bit Glaswegian there, sorry.
No worry.
Bye.
Hi there, Edinburgh. I stand here today as something that the British press has tried to turn into a dirty word, but which I am very proud of. I am an immigrant in Scotland. No, I can only say this with pride because I know that in Scotland, immigrant is not a dirty word, because when you look back far enough, we all know that we come from somewhere else, and we don't turn people away because they come to our country to work and contribute to make it better. Now, xenophobia is rising all over the world, and the British Islands aren't immune to it. As blonde-haired buffoons try to build walls, be it in the United Kingdom or be it in Mexico, Scotland says no to that because we know better. Now, as much as I am hopeful because I know what strength the people in front of me have, I am also feared. I am feared because I live in Brexit Britain. I am feared because I am a gay immigrant and the Home Office Minister, Woo! I am a very proud gay immigrant, I should say. But my right to stay in this country is in the hands of a homophobic Home Secretary who believes in capital punishment but doesn't believe in equal marriage. What kind of person is that? On top of it, she is the daughter of immigrants who is trying to take the ladder away from future generations. What kind of racist hypocrite does that? Now, there is a path for Scotland to get out of this madness, and we all know what it is. Independence. I may be biased because I was born in Portugal, an independent country, and I can tell you, it's not a perfect state of affairs in any manner, but the thing is, you are in control of the tools to deal with the problems you have, rather than waiting for a xenophobic Westminster to solve your problems for you, which they will never solve, they will only add to them. Am I right? So, Scotland, the Union has had its time. The British Empire has had its time. I stand here knowing that the future is bright, a future for everyone, and that future where we build a better Scotland, where we treat drug addicts with the dignity they deserve, rather than punishing them for their illness like the British Home Office wants to do. We will build a better nation, a fairer nation for everyone who was born here, and like myself, everyone who came a bit late to this country. Thank you very much. Let me finish with a very Scots phrase that I love. Go on yourself, Scotland! Independence is coming because we'll get it! Thank you!
Sorry, I was away cleaning a banner, it's all muddy. Wonder why. The next act is Wilson Noble. What a brilliant act this guy is. And he's into very, very real things, by the way, like exercise and all that. And fruit and veg. But he's also a really good songwriter. Wilson Noble, give us a big hand, eh?
Just for a second. Because in Jamaica, there's a man called Bob Marley, and I really love him. Bob Marley.
Okay, Miguel.
Sorry.
Okay, so we are here with Miguel. Miguel, you've just come off stage. You gave a wonderful speech there. Tell us, what is it that brought you into the independence movement?
I don't know exactly what brought me in. I think I was in Scotland already for like 6 months, and the Brexit thing was building up, and what I began seeing was a very different messaging coming from Westminster and some sections of England, and a very different message in Scotland. And the message in Scotland resonated with me much more, was one of welcoming and acceptance and tolerance compared to the xenophobia that was being whipped up down there. And I guess that made me see that Scotland and England, although united at the moment, were on very different paths. And I come from an independent country, as I just said. And I think that I love Scotland, but I see a lot of problems in Scotland, and I see the eagerness to try to solve them, but I see Westminster as an obstacle in the way. And I think that the drugs issue, for example, is a thing, because I come from Portugal where we decriminalized drugs, and we just saw recently the massive number of drug deaths in Scotland. And so I'm a bit frustrated because Portugal is following a route that I want Scotland to follow. But when Glasgow tried to implement clean spaces for drug users to use, the Home Office forbade it. And that just serves as an argument to see that we would be better doing our own thing without Westminster having to manage anything for us, because they do a very poor job of it anyway.
I must say it's nice to hear you refer to what we can do. It's something that the independence movement has prided itself on, is how inclusive it is. How have you found Scotland generally and the independence movement as far as including you both as a gay man and as somebody coming from outside Scotland?
I mean, I should preface, it's not perfect because no country is. So in that, but the thing about Scotland, I consider myself Scottish now on top of being Portuguese and European, and they're all in equal parts. But how I came to consider myself Scottish was because the people in Scotland told me that I was one of them. People would, why do you always, I describe myself always as an immigrant, and people would say like, you're not an immigrant, you work here, you love our country, you're one of us. And that's such, even in my native Portugal, I don't think that happens. I wish it did, but here there's such a sense of bringing you into the family. And of course there are people who aren't like that, there are exceptions, there is xenophobia. Scotland has its own divisions with sectarianism and all of that, which we know of. It has problems with homophobia, of course it does, and yet it has made such massive strides. I looked at the Holyrood Parliament, I saw loads of openly gay politicians, politicians who came from other parts of Europe even, like Christian Allard, who is now in the European Parliament. And I just see a Scotland that is not really about what runs in your blood, but the values that you live by. And so I was made to feel welcome from the moment I landed here 4 years ago. So.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. And what are your hopes now? I mean, obviously, with Brexit on potentially the very near horizon, that must affect you quite seriously. What are your hopes for what happens next?
I think my hopes would be that the Brexit madness would be stopped at the UK level. But my hope is that we achieve a way of delivering a referendum that is consensual, that is internationally recognized through all the means that we can, in order to, when we win it, because we will win it, when we win that referendum, we can join all the international institutions that Scotland is a part of, because we are a European nation. Part of me is feared, as I said in my speech, because at the same time, my future as an EU migrant at the moment is in the hands of Priti Patel, who is a woman who is for capital punishment, but against gay marriage. And her set of morals and values are complete anathema to Scotland, even to England. I would say her values represent very fringe society, but she has the power over my lives and the power of every other immigrant in the UK. So I am feared of what may come, and that we may have not seen the worst of Brexit yet, but I am still hopeful. And although I want us to get rid of Westminster as soon as possible, I have a degree of hope that there are enough good people with good sense there to put a stop to what Boris is trying to achieve, because it's absolutely mental.
Well, WG Saraband, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for being a very entertaining voice on Twitter as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that was WG Saraband. As I said, he's a great voice on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, I strongly recommend following him. He's always got something interesting to say, and usually says it in a very entertaining way as well. So thank you again to Miguel.
Scotland, I dearly, dearly, dearly love you.
Okay. We've only got 10 minutes. I'll squeeze one in. Here's another song. This could have been our national anthem, but it's no. So this is a song about Scotland. And Scotland will flourish by the sway of our labour. Maybe I'm gonna fucking do that. Hold on. Scotland will flourish. Nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. I haven't practiced it enough. All right, people. Tell me, have you had a good day? I can't hear you. Have you had a good day? How many people on this march today? Oh well, 200,000, you can. That's 1/5 of a million people. That's a hell of a lot of people. How are you feeling, Scotland? Come on! How are you feeling? Come on! Okay, you lock in this tune. This is a very mellow tune. Please relax. Sing along with the chorus. Around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie, go? Come on, and we'll all go together, lovely, to poor wild mountain time. All around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie, go? I will build my love above her. There she is. By yon clear and crystal fountain, and around it I will pile all the flowers from the mountain. Will ye go, lassie, go everybody, and we'll all go together to poor wild mountain time. All around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie, go? If my true love, she won't have me, then I'll surely find another to poor wild mountain time. All around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie? Here we go. And we'll all go to, let's hear you, to poor wild mountain time. All around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie, go? And again. And we'll all go together to poor wild mountain time. All around the purple heather, will ye go, lassie, go? So let's get on with building a new Scotland, please. And if there's one thing you can do, tell your friends and family with respect how much it means to you. Thank you very much. We will see you again. Come on, Scotland! Scotland! You can do it. We are doing it. This is it. See ya. See you very soon. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Now we have another speaker which I failed to go and find actually, but he's just behind. Yeah, your dad. Go to get your dad up. As I said, unprofessionalism lives in my house. Right, his name's Mabon. I forgot to say. Mabon AP Gwynfor. How are you meant to say that? Gwynfor. No, here's Mabon AP Gwynfor from Plaid Cymru in Wales.
Hello, good afternoon, friends, comrades, Edinburgh. Diolch yn fawr, chapel at.
It's lovely to be back here in Edinburgh, in fact. The last time I was here was a little over 5 years ago. And those 5 years ago, I was out canvassing the streets, getting the voters out in the tenements of Edinburgh to vote yes in your referendum. And that was one of the best days of my life. That day will stay with me forever, because that was the only time I have felt real freedom. For one day, you as a nation, you as a people, you were independent for one day. And even though you lost the vote on that day, wow, that put some seeds into the ground with us in Wales. It inspired us. And from then, our movement in Wales for independence has grown thanks to you here in Scotland. Because for far too long, our communities in Scotland, in Wales, we've been treated like quarries. We've been exploited relentlessly, hollowed out and ripped of all our wealth until there's nothing more for us to give. And then we've been abandoned and forgotten when they in London have deemed us to be uneconomical. Yes, our communities, our people, they've been abandoned by London. But our communities, you, us in Wales, we're fighting back. We're organising. We're working together. And we're gathering strength. Decades ago, it was only muffled voices talking about independence. Those muffled voices turned into conversations. And those individual conversations became a cry for freedom, a cry for independence. Having extracted everything they can from our nations, London now claims that we in Wales, that in Scotland, we're too small, we're too poor to succeed as independent nations. It's an age-old myth that's been deliberately perpetuated for far too long, but it's got no basis in fact. Because neither Scotland nor Wales are too small or too poor. Yes, we have an abundance of resources, true, but we have the most valuable resource of all. No, not water, no, not oil, no, not whiskey even. People, you, the people of Scotland, the people of Wales, the single most valuable resource that any nation can have. The people of our nations, our brothers and sisters who've been locked in a cycle of never-ending poverty from one generation to the next. We've been denied the opportunity to help build a better society and a fairer world because we live under a plutocracy, in a state that forces inequality and centralizes wealth in the hands of a few. Independence will set the people of Scotland and Wales free from the never-ending cycle of despair and hopelessness that is London rule. In Wales, a third of our children live in poverty. Our young people are moving away from our communities because of a lack of opportunities. And have you seen the mess in London? Is that as good as it gets? Can we do better than that? Of course we can. Now, independence isn't the end goal. It's not an ideological crusade for its own sake. But independence will be the catalyst that will drive Scotland and Wales forward. It'll give us the tools and the ability to build a fairer society, to build nations, new nations, on foundations of ancient and proud nations. Finally, from the Welsh perspective, the opinion polls tell us that now, thanks to you here in Scotland and your movement for independence, we are now starting to realise that we can also develop our own movement and become independent. Thanks to your lead, now up to 40% of the people of Wales believe that we too can be independent. You have inspired us. you've also inspired other stateless nations across the world. And thank you for that. We're with you, Scotland. We're with you from Wales, from Catalonia, from Brittany and other small stateless nations, marching lockstep towards independence, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Gwynfor. Mabon Gwynfor. Oh, I don't know how to say that name. Could Ian King come to the backstage? Ian King.
Okay, so we're with Maya. Maya, you did have a clean face when you went on stage, didn't you?
I did, yeah. No, don't touch it. This tiny terror. This is Jackson. Decided to cover me in mud.
Well, it's been a fun day, hasn't it, Jackson? You had fun?
Yes.
And Maya, now you're, believe it or not, only 16 years old, and you're performing here today. How did you get involved in independence and getting on stage here?
Well, it was Jim Reid and the Renains that originally got me involved, and I started off in Gala Shields in April, and I've just kind of worked my way up.
And what is it that makes you, as a young person, want to see Scotland become independent?
I believe that displaying and representing young people in the independence movement is extremely important, because not only is it lacking in a space of where young people aren't speaking up, but it's... She's over there. I'll put you down. And I also believe that young people are the way forward for an independent Scotland. He's gone. Oh, he's away.
We have lost Jackson there.
He's gone.
With your music, what role do you think music has to play in a movement like this?
Music, I mean, not only is it for a party, but music can speak louder than say for example a speech. It's more engaging, it sticks with you more. So someone can have a song stuck in their head, and then when you really look into the song that's stuck in your head, you're like, that's what that means. I wonder what that's about, if someone doesn't know what independence is. Or it's just an anthem, it gets you moving, it gets you want to march for these things, it gets you motivated and want to do these things, you know?
Well, Maya, thank you so much. Your performance was excellent. Honestly, without the mud, she looks fantastic.
Thank you. I look pretty good with the mud as well. I don't know. I think this might be a continued look. Yeah.
Well, if you're going to keep playing at festivals and whatnot, Maya, then I'm sure you're going to end up like this many more times in your career.
Yeah, it's a promise.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Oh, I didn't go out.
That was Maya Brown and young Jackson there for a moment. A wonderful performer, and as I said, incredible to think that she's just 16 years old. Very mature performer, very talented performer. I'm sure you can find her music online. It's Maya Brown. Please do give her a look. Thanks to her again. This is going to be worse than packed.
I like it. Can I just look to you?
Look at the camera.
Has it been a good day for you, right?
Well, probably not as long as your day.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so we are here now with Keir from All Under One Banner for our last interview of today. And Keir, it's been quite a day. How do you feel it's gone?
I think it's been an immense day. Probably a bigger success than we could have hoped for. We reckon up to 200,000 people have marched. It took 2 hours to march in to the entrance of the park. It's the biggest demonstration I have ever seen in Scotland. I think it certainly matches the big Make Poverty History demonstration, which was around 200,000. So what a display of unity, with a clear message that we want independence now and we're no longer willing to wait. We had people coming from all over Scotland and indeed all over Europe. I've met people from across the world here to show solidarity with our struggle for independence. So a brilliant day, better than we could have ever expected.
And obviously it's been a big effort to get these marches happening and to get them running so smoothly. What would you say to the rest of the All Under One Banner team? Or what would you say about them to the people watching?
I think the All Under One Banner team have showed immense strength and unity, representing people from different organisations, grassroots, yes groups. There's been literally dozens of meetings, planning meetings across Edinburgh over the last few weeks. We're united, we planned it very well, and it's been a very smooth and successful day, and we need to make sure that into the new year that we continue with that level of organisation and commitment and coordination for all the key yes groups and all the key indie groups across the country. That's why All Under One Banner will be putting together a National Assembly on the 2nd of November to take us into the final battle for independence in 2020. So we're looking forward to growing and deepening and increasing the networks that All Under One Banner can reach. So it's an immense achievement to pull this off, and we need to keep it up. We need to remain united and stay focused and keep our eyes on the prize.
So that event on November 2nd, where can people find out about that?
We'll be launching this on Monday. Folk will be able to find out about it on the All Under One Banner website. And the idea is that we pull together representatives from different yes groups and indie groups across the country to ensure that we're coordinated for the marches next year, the 9 marches that we've organised, but also we want to make sure that we're coordinating mass canvassings in various housing estates across the country, and that we're winning the argument with people who are still coming over to your side. So deeper organisation and a wider reach into Scottish society. So well done All Under One Banner, but beyond that to all the yes groups and all the ordinary people who have decided to come and march under that banner. We need to keep it up.
And what are your hopes now, both for All Under One Banner and for the movement as a whole?
My hopes for the movement are that we're getting closer to independence. We have to give it the final push, and we have to be prepared to show the British government that it's a growing movement, and we also have to show the Scottish government that there's a huge movement mobilising and calling on them to use the mandate for independence. So the message is we have to keep up the fight. This has been an immense day, but we still haven't won the full war. So we're still on guard here, and we're still mobilising. So if you're out there listening, come and join us, get organised, get involved.
Thank you so much, Keir. And just for anybody who's wondering, when is the next march and where is it?
The next march, I think the first one's going to be in Glasgow, and I think that's is it April the 4th?
I'm sure we'll check that on the website just to be sure.
Plenty of time to organise it. So anybody who's interested in coming to the National Assembly, please look out for the AUOB website. And someone has very kindly given us a list. And I got it right. It's the 4th of April and it's in Arbroath, not Glasgow. And there's a list here for you guys to look at. So we'll see you next year.
So what we have the 4th of April in Arbroath, the 2nd of May in Glasgow, 6th of June in Peebles, 4th of July in Elgin, 1st of August in Kirkcaldy, 12th of September in Stirling, and then the 3rd of October back here in Edinburgh. It looks like a heck of an organisation that you've got to do, but I must say everything here seems to have gone absolutely perfectly from a backstage point of view.
Well, the final thing I'd like to say is to thank the hundreds of stewards and volunteers who've come from all over Scotland to steward this event. I'd like to thank the first aiders. I'd like to thank you guys for giving us the promotion that this movement deserves. So we've done an immense job here, so congratulations to the team. There's been no mishaps, no injuries, no arrests. It's been brilliant.
Well, thank you, Keir. I think we all owe you and your team a great debt. These marches have been a really great thing for the movement, I think, as you say, bringing together all these different groups under one banner. So thank you for everything you've done for the movement.
Thank you. Good job, guys.
best to us. But the overall day, I think, has been seamless. Everything has run very, very smoothly. These people are all volunteers, but they do an immense job in making these things run so professionally. So congratulations to Keir, congratulations to everyone on the All Under One Banner team, and congratulations as well to all the marchers. Coming out in this weather is quite a feat, especially in such numbers. So thank you all for watching, thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure to be here, a pleasure to talk to all the interviews that we've had. So again, thank you from Broadcasting Scotland to everyone here at All Under One Banner. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you.